Hey, how you guys doing out there today? This is Stefan Jimenez from the Roto Beast team, and I'm here to present you our NFL Week 15 picks. If you're new to our channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all of our NFL and NBA videos, and please make sure and click the like button on this video as it really helps us out. Also, if you haven't, please make sure and check out our NBA video for today. We had some really good picks, and I was really confident in them. So yeah, let's just kind of jump into it. I'm gonna get you the kind of the top offenses I'm gonna target first, and then I'll jump into a top five plays at each position, in my opinion, and we'll get it done. So first, we'll talk about the Saints. I'm going into New York to face the Jets. They have the highest implied total on the slate of 31.5 projected points to be scored. Then I like the Patriots going into Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. Patriots kind of had an off game last game. I definitely think they're going to bounce back. They have the second highest implied total on the slate of 28 projected points to be scored. Then we got Falcons going into Tampa Bay to face the Bucks. The Bucks defense honestly is pretty terrible. I really like this spot for the Falcons. They have the third highest implied total of 27 projected points. Then we got the Vikings going into Cincinnati to face the Bengals. The Bengals just got crushed by the Bears. So I really like this Vikings offense. They have the fourth highest implied total on the slate of 26 projected points to be scored. And the last offense I'm really going to be targeting is going to be the Panthers at Green Bay. The Packers defense isn't the best. Panthers have the third highest implied total. The fifth highest implied total on the slate of 25.3 projected points to be scored. So those are kind of the teams I want to be focusing on. And we'll jump into the plays. We'll start at quarterback. I think the top quarterback on the slate is going to be Russell Wilson. His price is 8,400. It's fair for what he's been doing. He's getting you in the 20s. He gives you a really high floor for your cash games. A lot of teams have been, getting in shootouts with LA. I like LA's defense, but they have been getting a lot of shootouts, so I'm not going to say they have a super good defense. The defense is mediocre. Russell Wilson, he gets you stats in a lot of ways. He's been passing for at least 2 touchdowns in what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. He's thrown at least 2 touchdowns in a game. Plus, he gets his rushing yards. He's averaging close to 50 rushing yards overall a game this season, which adds to his floor, something that you really got to like from quarterbacks. So I do like Russell Wilson this week. Then we got kind of the GPP version of Russell Wilson. We got Cam Newton. He is questionable to play. I expect him to play, to be honest with you. He practiced limited fashion this week. On Wednesday. Cam, he gets you that high floor. Somewhat because he rushes a lot. Thing about him compared to Russell Wilson, though, is he is a little bit more inconsistent on the pass game aspect of it. So I do like him more for GPP compared to Russell Wilson for cash games. But Cam is in a really good position going against Green Bay. Then I'm gonna quickly talk about Roethlisberger. He's been on fire. He's been playing very, very well. In the past 4 games, he's got you at least 28. 3 of the past 4 games. I think this is gonna be a shootout against the Patriots. The Patriots defense isn't really the best defense. Ben is coming off one of the best games he's had all season. I'm throwing for 506 yards. So I definitely like Ben Roethlisberger in this matchup. Then we got Kirk Cousins. This guy's just having to throw the ball a ton, and that's what we like. He guns it. He's a gunslinger. He's getting his passing touchdowns. His price is down. That's what I really like more than anything. For Kirk Cousins this week, 7,500 is very fair. He does get you a couple, runs occasionally, get you a little bit of yards. He is kind of a little bit inconsistent, so I do think he's more of a GPP play. But he has shown, upside. He's hit 28 a couple times already this season. So definitely, I think he's a solid GPP option. And the last guy I'm gonna quickly mention is gonna be Keenum. He's playing very well, very, very well. Going against Cincinnati, the guy, he's throwing the ball a lot. He's been passing for touchdowns. He has at least 2 touchdowns in 5 of the past 6 games. He's rushing for a little bit, getting you a little bit of those extra yards. And he's been very consistent, especially for his price tag. He's averaging about 17 fantasy points a game. If he got you 17 at his price tag, you would probably be happy with it. I would probably be happy with it. And, he has the upside to get you, 26, 27. At his price point, I think he's very fair, and I like him as another GPP option. We'll go to running back. Le'Veon Bell, this guy, he's averaging 22 carries a game, 7 targets. He's a crazy big part of the offense. One thing the Patriots are usually good at is they try to take away the opponent's best player. But in the case of the Steelers, they have Bell and they have Brown, so it's going to be hard for the Patriots to take away both of them. They're going to have to pick their poison of who they're going to let beat them. So I like Le'Veon Bell. I think his price is up, but he gives you a really high floor for cash games. So I definitely think he's a great play. Then we'll go down a little bit, and we will talk about Todd Gurley. He's kind of like the poor man's Le'Veon Bell. He has a massive usage rate. You got to really, really like. He's averaging overall in the season about 19 carries a game, and he's averaging about 5 targets a game. He's getting both. He's getting it on both sides. He gives you a solid floor. I would say his floor is probably about 14, 15. At his price tag, you do want a little bit more than that. He definitely has the upside. He's been hitting the 20s a bunch of times this season, with getting 30 occasionally. So I do like Todd Gurley in this matchup. Then we got Fournette. He's questionable. But they're feeding him the ball. They're favorites in this game, so if they're up, they're just gonna feed him. They've shown they do want to give him massive carries. And that he's also getting a bunch of targets out the backfield. So I like Fournette. I think he is a little bit more of a GPP play, though. I would probably rather go with Gurley for just a couple hundred more. Then we got Devontae Freeman. The guy's been having a really good season. People aren't talking about him. One thing that kind of scares me off of him is that he's splitting carries, with their other back as well. But he's been getting into the end zone a lot this season. And that's what you really got to like. On the season he has, actually he hasn't got in the end zone in the past. Well, he was out a couple games. This game got a concussion, and then he was out for a while. But last game he got 24 carries for 91 yards and a rushing touchdown. If he's gonna get us 20 carries, I like his chances to hit value and actually sneak into the end zone. He definitely is the red zone back, so that is promising. Then we will talk about a couple guys on the cheaper ends. We got this guy Drake. He just crushed New England. 25 carries, 114 yards, 5 catches for 79 yards. In the game before against Denver, who's a really good defense, he still got 23 carries for 120 yards, 5 targets, 3 catches for 21. So the guy's playing very well. I think his price is still a little bit too low. I like this guy. I think you could probably get him in your cash games and not be too worried about it. So I definitely like Drake. And then the other guy I was going to talk about quickly is going to be, let me find him. This guy, Williams for Arizona. Adrian Peterson's been out the past 2 games. He's got at least 16 carries. This is nothing exciting. 9.3, 9.7 is not, the most exciting thing, but the workload is what you gotta like. He's getting the carries. If he snuck into the end zone, get you a 15-pointer right here, you'd be very happy at his price tag. So I do like him on the cheaper end. I don't know if I would consider him necessary for cash games, but I think it's something that you could kind of consider. It's something that you kind of have to just weigh your options and kind of go about that route. See if, we don't have anything early in the week, if there's any other cheaper guys that are going to be in. I think he is probably the best cheap guy out there currently. Then we got wide receiver. Obviously the top wide receiver is going to be Brown. He's the best wide receiver in the league, hands down. There's not really too much of a debate about that. The guy's just crushing it. He's going against the Patriots, who ranked 30 overall in defense, 29th against the pass. I mean, this guy, look at the targets he's getting. At least 12 targets in the past 4 games. With the past 2 games, he's had 18 and 16. I mean, that's mind-boggling to me. I mean, they're just trying to throw him the ball almost every single time. And I mean, he's putting up massive points. He got you a 37, a 36, a 20, which was a down game, and then a 27. You know, at his price tag, you do want to get at least 25. You know, maybe even a little bit more. But if anybody can do it, if anybody can kind of get there at this price tag at wide receiver, I definitely think that it could be Antonio Brown. I mean, like I said, the guys, he's just good. Plain and simple. There's nothing else really to say about it. Next, at wide receiver, we will talk about Julio against Tampa Bay. They ranked 27th defense overall, 30th against the pass. You know, Julio, he had his monster game a couple of days ago that we were waiting. I mean, a couple weeks ago that we were waiting for. He kind of had a bad game against Minnesota, who's a really, really tough defense. But he bounced back somewhat against New Orleans. He got 5 targets. I mean, 5 catches on 11 targets for just under 100 yards. You know, we need more than this. You know, at his price tag, 8,400. You need more than 12. But going against this Tampa Bay defense, I think that I'm not gonna say he's gonna have a monster game. You know, like this again. He just got him at home. You know, this was his monster game. Actually, was against Tampa Bay, where he went off for 12 catches, 253 and 2 touchdowns. But the opportunity is there. Even if he gets you, you know, 10 catches for 175 and a touchdown at this price tag, you definitely would take it. So you got to like him in the rematch against a team he just shredded, you know, a couple weeks ago. So definitely take a look at Julio. Then we're going to talk about, I like Thielen. Thielen, I mean, I used to think that it was Diggs that was the number one receiver, but I feel like he's starting to take over the number one receiver role. I mean, he's been having a very good season, and he's got at least 13 fantasy points in 4 of the past 5, which is very promising. He's getting the carries. The carries, for the most part, have been double digits all year. His team has the 4th highest implied total on the slate. His price, I think, is fair for what he's been doing. So I definitely like Thielen. Then we will talk about, where's he at? Let me find him. Oh yeah, I like Dez Bryant. He is more of a GPP play, but 7,000. It's a fair price. The Raiders ranked 25th against the pass. His targets have been down a little bit, which is kind of, you know, disturbing for me. But I mean, he's still got a couple touchdowns. He's the number one, you know, red zone option. You know, he got 14 points in the past 2 games. Going against this Oakland team who sucks against the pass, I definitely think he can get back to double-digit targets against this game. I think Dak's going to have a good game. So I like Dez. I think, you know, like I said, he is a GPP play more, but, I mean, the opportunity is there, and, you know, that's what we got to kind of look at. And then we got Golden Tate. I mean, the guy's a beast. Plain and simple, I think he's the best wide receiver on the Lions. The targets have been there. He's been getting red zone targets. He's averaging 11.5 fantasy points a game this season, you know, which is fair. At his price tag, you would want at least about 15, I would say. I definitely think he can get there. I really do like Golden Tate in this matchup against the Bears. The Bears do rank 10th against the pass, which kind of makes you be like, ugh. But if he's going to get a lot of targets, and the cool thing about him is he gets a lot of those short targets that he kind of converts into bigger plays. So, you know, his targets do get, you know, he catches most of his targets compared to, you know, like a Dez Bryant. 11 targets, you only get 5 catches. This guy, he catches almost everything, you know, thrown at him for the most part, which you got to like. So I definitely like Golden Tate. Then we will go to, actually, one more guy I'm just going to quickly bring up. Marquise Goodwin. Garoppolo for the Niners. Garoppolo is looking like the real deal. I mean, the past 2 games since Garoppolo started, Goodwin has had at least 99 yards catching, 8 and 12 targets for a solid, you know, 13 fantasy points each game. He hasn't gotten the end zone, so if he gets in the end zone, this pushes this to 19, which is very, very, very respectable at a 6.6 price tag. So yeah, Goodwin, he's a really good play. He's been playing well, and it looks like Garoppolo really likes him. Then we'll go to tight end. You can always consider Gronk. I mean, obviously he's one of the best, tight ends in the league, hands down. He's coming off a suspension. You're paying, wide receiver one, salary for him, but I mean, he pretty much gets the same targets as a wide receiver one. He has massive upside. So I do like Gronk. He's always going to be one of the top, tight ends on the slate. Then you got Kels going against the Chargers. This game I think is going to be a shootout. Kels, he's getting massive targets as well. His price has actually dropped a little bit. Alex Smith does look for him. Thing about him is the Chiefs have been struggling a little bit. I mean, he's still getting the targets, but he hasn't been super consistent. But it's not bad though. I mean, if you look at it, he had one bad game against Buffalo. We got 5.4. But other than that, I mean, he's been pretty much in double digits lately. I just don't like, the 10.9 or the 13 or even the risk of 5 at a 7.7 price tag. It scares me a little bit. But, I mean, I still like him. Don't get me wrong. Tight end is one of those positions. It's kind of like you damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Then we will go to Hunter Henry going against the Chiefs. The Chargers have been playing very well. Kansas City ranks 29th in defense, 28th against the pass. Henry, I mean, his targets, he's been getting, consistently 5 to 7 targets a game. Getting into the end zone, he's got in there two of the past 3 games, so he's definitely a solid red zone option that Phillip Rivers is looking at. And he's got you double-digit fantasy points in the past 3 games. Even the game that he didn't get in the end zone, I mean, he still got you 12. I like the price tag. I like the opportunity. So I think he's definitely a great play. I think you can put him in your cash games. And then we will talk about, where is he at? Mr. Doyle. I mean, this guy doesn't even have a quarterback. But, I mean, he's still somewhat doing, all right. I mean, he's more of a GPP play. I will say that. But the quarterback, he has shown that he does want to throw Doyle the ball. If you're gonna attack Denver's defense, they struggle against tight end more than any other position. So you gotta like that. At a 5.2 price tag, you would be happy with 12 from him. He's averaging 8.5 a game this season. So I do like Doyle. I think he's a solid play. And the last guy I was gonna bring up, 5,000. Ebron, I mean, the targets have been up and down, but last game he got 11 targets, caught 10 of them for 94 yards, got you a 12 spot. I think he's more of a GPP play as well. I mean, in the tight end position, if you want to pay mediocre, I probably think you go with Hunter Henry. But I mean, I just want to get you some options. I mean, he has upside. He caught 10 passes for 94 yards last game. And the thing about the Lions is we know Matthew Stafford is going to throw a lot, but he spreads it around a lot, and it could be a little bit frustrating. But the opportunity is there, so I do like Ebron. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at for this video. If I miss somebody or you want to talk about somebody, definitely make sure and leave a comment below, and we can kind of discuss them. Make sure and click the like button if you haven't already. Make sure and check out our NBA video. And we'll be back tonight with our NBA video for Friday. So I hope this video helps. Let me know if there's any more questions you got, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.